G'day guys, how's it going? My name is CJ, and today we'll be looking at two very exciting smartwatches. Those who know gadgets probably are already aware of Mobvoi and their Ticwatches. I'm still a little unsure of the name, Mobvoi, but anyway. I was actually one of the very first original Kickstarter backers of the original Ticwatch E. This particular watch was released back in 2017 to much fanfare, and since then, Mobvoi have released a number of other impressive follow-up models, each targeting a slightly different part of the market. Now, almost 2 years later, Mobvoi are releasing their next iteration of the very successful and previously very good E and S models. They're called, rather appropriately, the E2 and S2, the version 2.0, the sequel. I've had the pleasure of using both of them over the last few weeks, and they've really impressed me. So, do the sequels live up to the original models? Let's take a look. So to start things off, take a look at the box it comes with. Comparing to the original box that the E came in, we're seeing a far more mature and far more sophisticated product from a quickly maturing company. And the unboxing process is just as seamless as you could really ask for. Inside, you have the watch, a proprietary charging dock that doesn't work with previous models. The whole experience is far less cumbersome than the previous E model, and it's a welcome change. Straight from the get-go, you can tell this is a budget-oriented smartwatch. It's made from a really hard polycarbonate plastic shell with just a single button and flanked on either side by soft silicone wrist straps that are quick swappable. Now, despite its materials, the tight tolerances, nice clicky buttons, and comfortable straps make it feel a little more premium than it actually is. And because of the overall plastic build, you end up with a delightfully light gadget that can live on the wrist for a really long time, more than the other Ticwatch models, for example, like the Pro or the C2. And in another string in the E and S2's bow is a higher waterproof rating of up to 5 atmospheres. Meaning it's rated to be used with swimming, either in the pool or with some shallow swimming or surfing in the ocean. I took both of them multiple times over the hot Australian summer to the beach, and both the E2 and the S2 survived with flying colours. And I shouldn't really be surprised, as the S2 model has an additional military standard certification for proofing for outdoor activities. The S2 is considered the sport model, designed for those with an active lifestyle, and the E2 is a toned down express model targeted for the more fashion conscious or those who want a more basic and minimalistic watch but with the same functionality. The E in my eyes can also stand for elegant. I mean, there are subtle differences between the two, with the S2 containing a chunkier face with a rectangular button, whereas the E2 has a more minimal face with a rounded button. Personally, I don't do nearly enough sport or outdoor activities to warrant the S2, and I do prefer the more minimal look of the E2. And of course, if the silicone straps aren't doing it for you, as I said before, they are easily swappable for a more elegant look. But don't let this fool you into thinking that these watches are compact, because in actual fact, both the E2 and S2 are giants. Titan-like even. Overall, they're very similar in footprint to the original E and S. Pair them to the Ticwatch Pro, C2, Samsung Gear, and even the Apple Watch, the new two models dwarf all of them. Both models come in a nice matte black shadow option, and the S2 also gets a white version with no news on any other new colors, which would be nice as the original E and S versions came in 3 different hues. Otherwise, they both look very simple, but there's something nice about how simple they are. What else is nice is the 1.4-inch AMOLED screen with a 400x400 resolution, at a shade larger than the C2 model. Comparing the two, the colors are deeper, more vibrant, and punchier than the C2. The extra pixels also help with how crispy the text looks. Blacks are really deep, and it almost looks like the screen blends into the watch itself, at least on the shadow version. The AMOLED screen also means it also uses a simple always-on display to allow an at-a-glance observation of time without burning too much battery. Now, speaking of battery, it sports a 415 mAh battery that, as usual for Mobvoi, is theorized to last up to 48 hours, 2 days. But like all modern day smartwatches right now, you're going to want to charge this daily. Compared to the C2 and the Ticwatch Pro, the E2 and S2 definitely last longer, and with my usage, I regularly make it to about 30 to 40% left by 10 PM, with a 7 AM start. It'll certainly last all day, but it certainly won't last 2 days straight. But at least Mobvoi's implementation of charging has improved drastically from the original E model. What with its now proprietary dock compared to its tiny and easily lost charging cable. I do think Mobvoi should keep things simple and make all Ticwatch charging docks cross-compatible. But let's talk about experience. The E and S2 models both rock an ancient Snapdragon 2100 CPU like all its older brethren. But unlike them, this one seems to be optimized far better. Wear OS's Achilles heel has always been issues of intermittent lag and stutter. The C2 and older Ticwatches certainly showed these ones quite visibly. But in my experience, the E and S2 has been utterly smooth and silky. I don't know what Mobvoi has done, but they've done an incredible job optimizing the watch, and it really shows. I don't think I've used an Android smartwatch with this level of smoothness, ever. Navigating through the watch is seamless, and if you know Wear OS, well, you know that it has its flaws, but then this experience is largely the same. And like its previous brethren, the E2 and S2 also come standard with Mobvoi's Tic Health apps, which take advantage of all the different sensors inside the watch to sense whenever you're doing anything physically strenuous. It will automatically start tracking you when it thinks you're going for a run or going for a swim. During my use at the beach, it was able to automatically pick up when I was performing any sort of physical activity, whether it was swimming in the ocean or whether it was me running after a beach umbrella that got picked up by heavy winds. This also works in tandem with the heart rate monitor, and that works just as well as you could probably ask for, with reasonable accuracy and speed. And if you don't want to use the Tic Health apps, you still can change it over to the Google Fit suite and synchronize all that data across instead. What it doesn't have that a lot of other smartwatches do have these days is an NFC chip which enables NFC payments via Google Pay. As a matter of pure convenience, it's a really great feature to have, and the E and S2's more feature-packed but more expensive brethren also have NFC. But despite the E and S2 both missing out, I can excuse them for not including this, purely based on value. This is one of the cheapest but well-designed and smoothest experience with Android Wear that I've ever used, and that's out right now. It costs only $159 US or 230 Australian dollars, which comes in half of what you pay for an Apple Watch, and also cheaper than what you pay for one of the competitors like the Fossil Sport. It's also quite a lot cheaper than say a new Galaxy Watch or any other fully featured watch. And it does pretty much 90% of what people will probably find useful in a smartwatch, and that's being notifications and fitness tracking and tracking heart rate. And what it does well, it does really well in a reasonably priced package. So should you buy this watch? If you're looking for an affordable smartwatch in a really refined package that looks and performs well, well then the Ticwatch E2 and S2 pose an incredibly compelling argument. The only remotely close thing to a con with this smartwatch, really old processor, and the fact that it doesn't have NFC. And despite all of this, it still rocks the latest Wear OS version, it works silky smooth, and it's a very lightweight and comfortable all-day package. Links will definitely be in the description below. Anyway, what do you think about the Ticwatch E2 and S2? Do you think you're going to pick one of these up? Or do you still think Wear OS is a dead platform and it's a bit of a waste of time? Do let me know in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, give us a like. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon. In any case, thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And of course, say good day, mum, for me. Cheers.